Good morning, St. Louis. It is 7 a.m. on a Tuesday, so y'all know what time it is. It is time for the St. Louis Hustle Podcast with yours truly, Cortez Hustle, my girl, Michelle. Hey, and we're talking confident children, man. How do you, as a parent, instill and build confidence in your children? We got lots of tips for you guys today, so do us a huge favor. Comment in the chat where you're from. Drop the name of your business and or your brand. Let us know how many children you're raising or how many have you raised. And we're going to give you some tips on helping you help them develop the confidence that they are going to need to conquer this world. So let's kick it.
Growing up in St. Louis has never been easy, and most say if you want to succeed here, that you must leave and put down roots somewhere else because of the strong crabs in a barrel mentality here.
I don't know if I'm just an optimistic person, but to see people like Chuck Berry and Nelly make it in the music industry, or the Roberts brothers and Dave Stewart in business, or William Lacey Clay Jr. in politics, can we blame the city, or is it that people just aren't hungry enough?
We're talking to all of the movers and shakers in this town, from entertainers to politicians, social activists and organizers, and of course, entrepreneurs.
Is there a curse on this city that holds people back? Is there an unseen hand that decides who makes it and who doesn't? You're about to find out.
Welcome to St. Louis Hustle.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the St. Louis Hustle Podcast. I'm your host, Cortez Hustle. That's my girl, Michelle. Hey. Ooh. And we are coming to you live and direct from the Cortez Hustle Challenge Studios right here in St. Louis, Missouri. I want to challenge you, if you need a few extra dollars this holiday season, you got to look into affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is a way that you can promote other people's product and make you a few dollars. Yes, you can promote other people's products and make you a few extra dollars this holiday season. Go to CortezHustleChallenge.com or click on the link in the show notes or in the description and go take a quick quiz, and it'll let you know if this is something that you might be a good fit for or not. CortezHustleChallenge.com. Today, we have a wonderful show lined up for you today. We're talking about confidence in children. How do you raise confident children? Michelle and I got a little experience in raising crumb snatchers. We got a couple. Michelle is actually on her second generation of crumb snatchers. Me, not so much just yet, but I don't deny. I doubt that with 5 sons, they coming.
Right.
I got to tell Michelle that when they start coming, they're gonna start coming fast and furious.
Please. So, know that.
But nevertheless, Chalet, how was your weekend, sis?
Man, first of all, we coming to you from the Lights Out Studios over here. And if you had seen during the intro, everything that was taking place in this here, I got lights falling. I got stuff. I'm just glad it didn't happen on camera because the light overhead I was like, is this light falling? Yeah, I'm throwing lights to the side. It's a whole production over here, for real. So that's what's going on. My weekend was good. It was good. I took sick Friday night and couldn't really get out and do nothing. Here's the thing. When people expect you to be the party, and all of a sudden you're not the party, man, it upsets their world. I told my youngin', here's the thing. I heard people, and we've even done a show on when you are close to your kids, whatnot. And so I don't go where my daughter goes. She goes where I go. Yeah. And so if I'm, out and I'm engaging for the weekend, she loves her mama and she wants to be up on her mama. Can't help that. I'm kind of glad about it a little bit. So she's used to going where I go on Friday nights. And so I told her, I said, sugar mama can't go. I don't feel good. Baby, she got mad at me like I done robbed her. So you just not going? I don't feel good.
Ooh. Well, all right.
Mama was sick, sugar. She was like, when I say if I could have seen her roll her eyes and pout over the phone, I'm pretty sure that's what was taking place. But I was like, let me find out your mama is the turn up. I'm like, wow.
Mama
put that
said,
on Facebook.
No, she didn't.
Right. You heard me. Like, how dare you be sick? I'm sorry. I should have checked with you first. My bad.
Right.
Goodness, she tried everything. I'll buy you drinks. I'm sick. I don't need no drink. Anyway, yeah. But yeah, so my weekend was cool. I quickly made up for Saturday though. I was back in the saddle.
Okay.
But yeah, it was a good weekend. The grandbaby just him almost a month, and I just love him, and he just is. He's just an awesome baby. He's a man. I can't wait till I can just. I know Facebook already. I've been banned from showing pictures on Facebook. Yeah, I've been banned. It's like you can't put no more pictures up of my baby. But when he stink, is your he my grandson when he stink. He your baby when he cute. Okay. My weekend was good. It was good. There it is. How was your weekend, sir? You getting about and moving around
as usual. Got some work in this weekend as always. Ended up launching getting prepared to launch this new show. Has got me a little bit involved, Michelle, but super excited. And with the show is coming a new app that I'm launching that's going to help Black businesses take their marketing to a whole nother level, Michelle.
Come on, app.
I'm super excited about this thing. So that's kind of I spent a lot of time this weekend setting all of that stuff up. And doing what I do.
Right.
But nevertheless, also, if you don't know what's going on in St. Louis in the next couple of weeks, let's take a look at the Alice Cocktail Experience is going on through the 30th. St. Louis Sound is going on through February 2nd. Has always been known for its exciting and eclectic music scene. Now you can learn more about St. Louis contributions to American pop music at the Missouri History Museum. So that'll be pretty cool. A Tyrannosaurus Meet the Family through December 13th. Of course, that is over at the Science Center.
Okay.
They got something called Sitting on the Porch Jam, Michelle.
What?
That sounds good. I just don't know
what porch.
It is our porch.
Right. What porch in what neighborhood?
Right. Frederick said yawn.
Right. It depends on the porch. Some neighborhoods you can't be on the porch.
That's why What Up Though is gonna be so dope, because it's gonna be
there it is
for what we got going on, man. And I think I'll be a little bit more excited about reading what's going on. But give some love over at Explore St. Louis, because they post what people give them, and we don't often share our domino and spade tournaments with them. So
you know what? First of all, let's just talk about that. Okay, dominoes and spade tournaments. First of all, I love playing spades. That's something I would get into. Like I show up remote and do a show just to play some spades. Yeah. Dominoes, too much counting in dominoes. You know what? If you don't know your 5 times tables, dominoes is not your game. It will mess you up. Yeah.
Will it be a fish fry? Yeah. So we're gonna be posting all the fish fries, all of the spades tournaments, all of the Sunday dinners. It's going down, man. We're gonna really
that's gonna be nice.
Show up for us, because I think that's one of the things that kind of hurts us, and that's part of my initiative with STL Black Biz. Not STL Black Biz. Shout out to my girl Eliani with the Black Biz Success.
Right. Eliani was like, excuse me?
Right. The Black Biz Success brand. It's all about making it easier for us to find our path and our way to success in business, whether you are that person who throws the bomb events, but nobody shows up because nobody knows about them. Well, you got to get your marketing game up. Right? You got to have the right platforms and connections and all of that kind of stuff. So I'm aggregating all of that into what we call the Black Biz Success ecosystem, where we're encouraging, educating more people to become entrepreneurs. We are celebrating those who already are entrepreneurs, and then we offer opportunities solutions, resources, tips, strategies, best practices to help those scale and grow their businesses to the next level, like we did with Michelle and her.
How did this get here? I'm sorry. Where did this even come from? I'm sorry. I was gonna fan myself, and that just was right there.
That was right there. That was right there. So
testimonial.
So that is it for our intro. Let's get into the Michelle A word of the day. What you got for us, sis? Or do we dare go full screen on this, or do we just?
Nah, I got a lot going. When I tell you, I threw boxes and lights everywhere because stuff started falling. Yeah, people be like, "What is that? Is that a shoe?" It's a shoe because I had stuff trying to hold it. Pray for the saints. Okay.
Let's get into the Michelle A word of the day.
There it is.
And now the Michelle A word of the day.
Okay. Are we back? We started. Yeah, my phone is not loving me today. I'm having some internet connection issues, but nevertheless, we're gonna keep going. The word of the day. I know I talked about peace probably a few months back, but I heard some interesting things the other day. Interesting perspective on peace, and it just really grabbed my attention. You know, I'm a peaceful person. I love peace, right? So I just wanted to kind of drop a couple nuggets that somebody dropped on me. You know what I'm saying? I want to drop them with y'all. So the first thing is that I think there's two things. It was shared with me. There are two things that you need when you are pursuing peace, and that is direction and discipline, right? Peace requires a pathway. You don't just kind of have peace. You know what I'm saying? There's a peace, like in the Bible, Jesus talks about I leave you with my peace. There's a peace that the world has. I ain't talking about that, but I'm talking about my peace, right? God said, I'm going to leave you with that. And so, in just thinking about the things that happen in our everyday life and the things that kind of knock us off of our square, achieving that God kind of peace, that peace that surpasses all understanding, like that was illuminated to me from a standpoint of regular peace. You can understand it. Like when things are going well in your life, it's going to be peaceful, right? Things going good on your job, you're making the money you want to make, it's peaceful. You know, your kids acting right, that's peaceful. You can understand that peace is logical. But the kind of peace that comes when all hell is breaking loose around you, but you still kind of, you're okay. You know what I'm saying? That's that surpassing all understanding, because technically you should be losing your damn mind when everything is going to hell in a handbasket, but you're not, right? And so one of the statements that I heard that this person said, you know, when you receive this kind of peace from God, it's just kind of what, once you tap into God, is what he gives, right? And so a lot of times people will take their current state that they're in and they apply that to how they relate to God, right? And the statement was, my current state is not a reflection of my status with God. And that illuminated to me, because we think that how we act and what we do predicates how God treats us. And it doesn't. Like, God is God, you know, and he's going to be who he's going to be. So leaning into him and, you know, pursuing peace and all that. Yeah, your life can be going crazy around you, but that doesn't change who God is and who you are to him. So peace is always going to be, the same peace is always going to be available. So that's your word of the day. Like, pursue peace. Don't just pursue it, but once you pursue it, have it, accept it, roll around in it, wrap up in it, however you want to do, but just make sure that you get that in your life. So that's your Michelle A word of the day.
Love it, love it, love it. Michelle A word of the day is brought to you by digitalempiresystem.com, ladies and gentlemen. If you are an entrepreneur and you do not have a lead generation system in your business, you need one, and you need to go check out digitalempiresystem.com. It's amazing what this platform does for a business, especially solopreneurs and small businesses, because it allows you to operate and function as if you are a multi-million-dollar operation, right? With the high touch and the high tech married together There's nothing else like that. So you need to go check out digitalempiresystem.com if you're trying to take your business to the next level. That you need the right platforms, you need the right tools. It's like the difference between cutting the grass with a lawnmower versus cutting the grass with a pair of scissors, right? That's the difference. The right tools and the right hands make all the difference. So if you need some better tools, if you don't have lead generation software strategies plans set up in your business, go check out digitalempiresystem.com. I think you will be very, very impressed. So we're talking. Go ahead, Michelle.
I'm very sorry. That was me raising my hand. Like, can I make a statement? You made the analogy, which I love your analogy, to cut the grass with scissors versus a lawnmower. I'm gonna need more realistic analogies. Like you could say it's like getting your hair cut with a pair of bad clippers. You ever get your hair cut with a pair of bad clippers? That just don't add up. Get stubborn. Okay, you know what? That was random. I don't cut grass. It didn't make sense. I was like, oh, I'm not tapped into that.
Relate. Okay.
I couldn't relate. But you talk about the clippers. I got you. Yeah. I'm sorry. We bad.
Well, it's trying to complete a ball fade with a pair of scissors versus a pair of scissors. How can you get somebody a ball fade with a pair of scissors versus?
You could, but you could go to jail afterwards. Could be some scraping involved. Could be some bloodshed. It could be ugly. Okay, here we go.
So we're talking a parent's guide to encouraging self-motivation for kids. One of the things that has helped me in my journey of entrepreneurship is I know how to draw inspiration from this wonderful, I think it's Earth, Wind, and Fire, called it a ball of confusion, but this wonderful ball that God created, I draw inspiration from just about everything. So with me drawing inspiration, that allows me to be motivated myself. And that's a gift from God. That's something that I could not transfer to my children. If they got it, they got it. That's just, that's something God did, right? But at the end of the day, we have to figure out, how do we create children that are self-motivated? Because those who have success in this world are those who can motivate themselves and don't need a whole lot of push from anybody else. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. Do you want to open us up, or how do you want to kick it off?
I will go test the reading skills early this morning. I got you. I'm ready.
That makes me think of when Floyd Mayweather and 50 Cent was beefing. It was hilarious because that was his attack on Floyd. And,
he can't read good.
It was crazy. And it's not even about reading good, but reading in public, I think, frightens everybody. Like there's nobody, even when I'm doing this, I'm like, man, I want to get tripped up on this little word.
Right. Wait, okay, so we gotta get started, but you just made me think that when you be in church, black church. Hold on, read the scripture. Okay, read verse number 1 through 48. What? I gotta read. Man, they asked me to do that one time. I was like, I can't read no more. I need glasses. I didn't have my glasses on. It was early. I didn't have a good breakfast. It was a lot of things working against me.
Man. And then the translation that you're reading from.
Like, oh my God.
Give me the plain English translation. Man. I don't want the thous and the thises and the thuses and the hithers and the thithers.
Man. It got so bad they had one of the mothers take over. You gonna let Mother Earth that she read? She ain't got no teeth in her mouth. It was so bad. I felt so judged. Okay.
Speaking of illiteracy, before I had there's a guy called himself like my mom back in the day. And I had never seen wood chips before, right? You know, a bag of wood chips. And it came in it wasn't a big bag of wood chips. It was a bag like the size of a bag of potato chips. I'm like, what is this? And why do we have wood chips sitting on the table? There's a guy literally thought he was, because he couldn't read, thought he was bringing my mom her favorite crackling skins
No, what?
and brought her some wood
No,
chips.
no.
I mean, if you look at the
Wow.
bag, they look like skins.
Wow. Baby, try these.
He didn't read. He didn't read it.
Got your favorite snack. Wow, baby, what I'm doing with these wood chips? Them cracklings, baby, go ahead. I've already had a few. They're a little tough, they're a little dry, but just drink a little water. Make it go down. Make it go down. Just drink a little water. I can't.
So
not
all
today.
that to say, pray for the saints when we start reading the public.
Like, why so much dialogue? Can't we just get to the numbers? Okay. Parents' Guide to Encourage your self-motivated kids. All right. Let me make this print real big. All right. Give your kids a head start by teaching them self-motivation. I do it all the time. While children have a natural sense of curiosity, intrinsic motivation is a capacity that can fade away unless it is encouraged and developed. Learn how to help your children love learning and growing more than grades or privileges provide. Pin in that real quick. There's a motivational speaker that I follow online, Prince EA. He does a wonderful piece about the public school system. And I think the name of the piece is called Can a Fish Climb a Tree or something. But it just really talks about how the school system treats kids and has for years. Everyone's on the same scale, right? Reading, writing, arithmetic, and you have to get grades and good grades in all these subjects. Well, what if you're a fish? You're supposed to be in the water swimming, and they got you trying to climb a tree. You know what I'm saying? They're not doing it based on the kids. They're doing this cookie cutter model for education. And that makes me think about that, where, you know, learning is more than just grades. But that's how we push in our society.
Yeah, he did the whole speech. I love that video that he did on that. And the indictment was that the school and the classroom was the only thing that hasn't changed in the last 100 years. Right.
Thank you.
It's still one person in front of 20, 25 kids trying to make it happen. But, you know, that's another conversation for another time, because that's all by design.
Yeah.
Tell me that technology comes into the world and it's the only thing that has not changed is the school system. So
the way that we teach, right? And just real quick before we move on, the whole month of November, we're talking about family dynamics, family relationships for the whole month of November. So, you know, there might be an opportunity to scratch at that a little bit later on. But yeah, I think it fits here. You know, it definitely fits here.
Absolutely.
Yeah. You want to take the next one? You want me to take that?
Yeah. So developing emotional intelligence. For years, experts thought cognitive intelligence was the deciding factor in academic success and other achievement, but now greater importance is being given to emotional intelligence. Kids with an inner drive to work hard have the edge. Studies suggest students fueled by intrinsic motivation think more logically and apply their knowledge and skills more effectively. So number one on our list is help your children and you as a parent focus on character. Help your children acquire traits like patience, resilience, and persistence. Communicate your values by putting them into action.
That's so big.
If I haven't done anything else for my children, Michelle, I've shown them how to work hard. I ain't done nothing else. I showed them how to work hard, and I probably have not done much else, Michelle.
Right.
But I've shown them how to work hard. Right. We have a couple rules that I've always told them. I said the number one thing a man has to be is responsible. The number two thing a man has to be is a problem solver. Right. If you're responsible and you take responsibility for your actions and even your inactions, if you are a problem solver, get good at that, because your family looks to you like when something's going down. Dad, what we gonna do?
What's
the plan here, Dad? What's the play? So and you have to kind of model that before your children. But definitely that emotional intelligence is critically important. Like you said in your word of the day, learning how to be unflappable when things around you are kind of out of whack and chaotic.
Yeah.
That is an amazing skill to have, right? And that's part of emotional intelligence. I don't get out of character. I don't get high when I win. I don't get low when I lose.
Yeah.
Right there in the middle.
Right. That it's really funny because the one I had some online mentors that probably don't even know they're my mentors, but one of my other mentors, Darius Daniels, pastor out of New Jersey, he had a book called Relational Intelligence, and that's one of the keys from that book is about emotional intelligence and how to be unbothered when things hit you. And I think, whenever I give the 8 word a day, 9 times out of 10 is something I've just recently gone through or am currently going through. And sometimes when God ministers to me, I push it right out because it's a ministry moment, right?
Right.
And so that is exactly where that came from. A series of his called Unbothered. And man, that's a whole nother story there. Unbothered. Right. Number 2, provide context. I'm the queen of providing context. All right. Discuss what you believe and why. When your children understand the purpose behind cleaning their room and completing their homework, they'll be more likely to cooperate. Split, a little bit split here with this, but I do definitely provide context because I was raised in a generation, and you may have been too. Why? Because I said so. I asked you, we came up in the 70s and 80s. You got your face smacked off if you asked your mama why. She said, go in there and do it because I said do it. You don't need a why. Go do it because it's what it was. I didn't raise my children that way because I hated that, because I never knew why I was doing stuff. I was just doing things robotically. I wasn't given the benefit of the doubt to even try and understand. And I was a pretty decent cookie in the smarts department. So with my children, I raised them with that, providing context, understanding, that belief. This is what we're doing. This is why we're doing it. And that's it. Now, if they had whys behind my explanation, go on somewhere, sit down now. But and sometimes there's been times where that's bit me in the butt. Because sometimes you do, as a parent, you just want to be like, hey, go on now, go on over there and do that. And they want to discuss it. This is not a debate, it's a dictatorship.
Right.
Democracy here. So I see both sides, but I definitely believe in the why behind what.
Yeah, we gotta get out of the ownership mode of children, and we are here to guide them.
Yes.
But don't forget that they are human.
They are.
Right? They are people, and remember that what you do with them, to them, for them, what you don't do with them, to them, for them, will be with them their whole life.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful about that. Number 3, set goals. Age-appropriate challenges gives kids something to strive for. Be specific and put their objectives in writing. Celebrate their progress and keep looking ahead. I didn't have anybody help me set goals when I was a kid. Michelle, I think that's something that is incredibly important. And one of the reasons that I use sports so much, because sports gives, even by default, without saying it all the time, your sports give kids lots of big goals and also micro goals as well. The goal is to win a championship every year. But when you break it down to the individual level, the kid who doesn't play as much, his goal is just to get more playing time, right?
That's it.
The kid who plays but never scores, his goal is, hey man, I just want to get a bucket this game, right?
Yeah.
So it gives them something to fight for constantly. But here's the challenge. We as parents got to know what their goals are, and we got to celebrate like a mug every time they hit one of those little milestones, because that's trained behavior, right?
Yep, absolutely.
They know that if I get this win in this small goal department, right? My grade go from a C to a B is not why didn't you get an A? See the improvement.
Right. Absolutely.
Let's keep it going. Right.
Absolutely.
And I made that mistake one year. My sons, we were playing in a basketball game, and we had both. There was two teams from St. Louis, a team from Jennings, and our team. Shout out to Howard Love and the St. Louis Ballers. He let me coach in that organization about 7-8 years. But we went to the Show Me game in Columbia, played at Mizzou. And my team and the other team both won outright, just blew everybody out. And we met in the championship game. And we had just beat them the week before. But in the championship game and the Show Me's, they got their revenge. They jumped on us bad. And I remember at the end of the game, and this is why I'm so passionate about this. At the end of the game, I had two of my sons playing on that team for me at the time. At the end of the game, Michelle, every kid on my team had their parents there to pat them on the back, pick them up, and tell them to look up. My sons didn't have their dad. They had their coach. All I could do was talk about the game, and I didn't switch hats.
That's
to go in dad mode and be like, forget about it, son. We'll get them next time. You got to work hard. You play. So that was a mistake that I learned, that you got to know that celebrating their wins, there's a time and a place to make the corrections. There's a time and a place to say, this is what you could have done better. But you got to know when to say, I'm proud of that effort. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And that makes all the difference.
That does. That's my daughters, both of them did drama in high school, speech and debate. And, there's some regrets there because they wanted me to be a drama mama. And it was in bus rides. I was going like hours away. I couldn't take it. High school kids, I wanted to whoop everybody on the bus. It just wouldn't work out. It wouldn't work out. But as I look back and I talk to my girls, of course, who are both adults now, they share that. They're like, we was affected by that because you weren't there. Yeah, you cheered us on before and you cheered us on when we got back, but it would have made a difference for you to be there. And I wasn't there, I wasn't there. So, all right, number
it's
4.
Put them first in a sacrificing of something else.
Yeah.
To be there, right?
It was in that moment. So I'll say this, right, just to kind of piggyback on that. And maybe too little. I don't ever think it's too late. So I'm not going to say too little, too late, but I do my best to celebrate victories now, right? They're young adults and they're achieving in the workspace. And I make sure to celebrate. I make sure to share with them when I'm proud of them. And it sounds a little cheesy. They think I'm the cheesy, or they say, Mama, why you being weird? I'm that mom, but it's okay because I miss some of those moments when they were in high school, tennis matches and all that. I miss that. So I give it to them now. and they better take it.
Yeah, they ain't got no choice. I'm showing up with a hug and a smile and some flowers. I know you ain't done nothing but showed up the first day at work, but hey,
right.
I'm excited for your first day at work.
You hear me? And for my baby girl, you went to work and didn't smack the ish out nobody. Thank you. Stay employed. You're a mama now. Don't go to work smacking people. It's not what we do anymore. I say you a whole mom now. You can't go and knock somebody's headphones off their head because they messing with your sister or they doing something.
Right.
There's no room for that. You're a mom. So unless you're going to be that mom, whole nother story. Okay. Number 4, boost confidence. Man, oh man, I'm working through this. Again, little behind the 8 ball with this, but I still do it. Empower your kids with a strong sense of self-worth and optimism. Let them know that they are capable and worthy of amazing things. When I tell you, and I've told my story before, my mom, bless her heart, God rest her soul, I believe my mom wasn't able to fully celebrate me or push or encourage me because she didn't have that in her. At some level, she didn't get it. But when I talked about early on, 7, 8, 9 years old, talked about dreams of being on television, she stomped that fire out in me quickly. And so I had it really, because not only did she stomp out the fire, but she made it about my appearance. So at the age of 7 or 8 years old, being told you can't do something because of the way you physically look, I carried that. I didn't realize it till my adult, I got to be an adult that I carried it, but I carried that, and it did affect my self-esteem. Because I wasn't empowered to know that I could do it regardless of what the package looked like. But my insides say, yes, you can. I didn't get that until I got damn near 50. So encourage kids.
Yeah, it's a huge deal that we all are who we are based on a narrative that runs on a loop inside of our heads.
Yep.
And for most of us, if we have never gone through a reprogramming, that narrative came from something that somebody else put in us at that most tender age, at 4, 5, 6 years old. And they repeated it 2 or 3 times. And because it came from somebody that you love, you respected, you believed it, and it became part of who you are. So you gotta be careful not to, I talk about the difference between cussing and cursing.
Oh, come on.
At 7, 8 years old, he played for a good friend of mine named Carl Nunu Washington. If you're in St. Louis, some of you guys know Nunu from Bashan. And he would cuss, he would cuss, he would cuss. And me as a Christian man, everybody wants to know, well, surely Cortez is not going to let his son play for this guy because he just cusses around these kids too much. Say, here's the difference. He's cussing. You're cursing. Because when your son don't make a play on the field, he might cuss, but you saying, that was stupid. Why you didn't make that tackle? See, now you're cursing. That's a whole different thing. That's a different thing. So don't trip off me allowing my kids to be around someone who cusses when all you do all day is curse your kids about what they can't do and what they won't achieve. So you gotta be careful about that, man. So number 5, strengthen relationships. Feeling connected can inspire anyone to contribute to their family and community. For some kids, social activities may increase their interest in household tasks and school subjects that they used to find boring, right? So those relationships, I remember having to be very careful, Michelle, as a youth coach. 3 of my sons were athletes. One is an intellectual and the other one is a musician. Well, as a coach, I spent more time with the athletes because the younger 2 actually played on the teams that I coached. So I spent more time with them. The middle son is the musician. The older son was a wrestler, state champion, undefeated, 119. You can still see him in the history books, Hazelwood West, and White Jr. Yeah, he did that. But
but you're not bragging though. I'm not bragging.
But, yeah, I ain't bragging. So I had to make sure that how do I find a way to show up for the other 2 and make sure that they know I'm equally as proud and not have them feel any pressure to have to be athletes to get my attention as a dad. And I'll tell you, I feel miserably, Michelle, because one of my sons, the musician, did wrestle for a little while, and it wasn't for him because we talked about the emotional intelligence, the keeping your cool. No, he's the guy. If he was in a boxing ring, he throw off the gloves and we get into a real fist fight. He was like, he was out there on the wrestling mat. It was like he wanted to fight, and then let his brothers get slammed too hard. Now he's rushing their mat, and he wants. Can we please find a piano lesson for this dude?
Right, he got too much going on the inside.
He's got something going on. He's got to get something out of him. But now he is an amazing vocalist and a songwriter, and that's kind of what he does. In fact, he went to Lindenwood on a scholarship. This is how cold he is with his voice. He went to Lindenwood on a scholarship. Didn't understand the college life. Dropped out. Why did his college vocal instructor just this year reach back out to him and say, hey, I got a band, I got a thing going on outside of school. I need you to come and be that voice.
Aw,
So
that's cool.
Now he's back on campus rehearsing, and now he's saying, I'm going back to
Awesome.
school. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
it's amazing how it all works. So, but make sure
See?
that you give your kids, don't exclude anybody,
Yeah.
because they feel that, right? They feel that. And I know my sons felt that. Oh, you always with them because I'm always at a wrestling tournament. I'm always at a basketball tournament. And a lot of times they have to be dragged to those things because y'all not old enough to stay at home. So y'all got to go and be in the gym with me all day and watch your brothers. And you get to hear other people talk about how good your brothers are and all that kind of stuff. And if they don't get that, you got to be very, very careful with that if you're raising multiple children.
Oh man, that is, yeah. I can certainly understand. Like I said, the whole drama thing. My girls did that, and like I said, I tried. I'm failing miserably. I tried. Number 6, offer choices. Totally love this one. Show your sons and your daughters that they have options. Deciding whether to spend their allowance money on comics or save up for a bicycle or introduce them to the advantages of delayed gratification. Right? I love presenting my daughters with there's more than one way to do something. And I love presenting my daughters with this is what I tell them now is you're young. You got your whole life ahead of you. It's okay to get out here and test the waters in this particular field, right? For employment or their career. And if that's not what you like, then do something different. Yeah. You got options. The choice is yours, I think it's important to kind of set that before them so that they don't feel like they're locked in. I didn't want them, especially because, I got 2nd generation corporate kids. So I didn't want them to feel like just because I did a corporate job, that's what they had to do. Because they saw me into arts and entertainment, I didn't want them to feel like that's what they had to do. Excuse me. I wanted to tap into them to find out what are your other strengths and talents, and that's where makeup kind of came about. I tease my daughter to this day, my oldest, who began doing the makeup business first. And I tease her that if I hadn't never jacked her makeup up for homecoming, she would have never been the great makeup artist that she is today. Because, baby, I set her out there looking 1985 wonderful. I set out there looking disco fabulous. You hear me? But she came home, she started watching videos. She's like, I got to figure out how to do this thing on my own because my mama is killing my rep. Hey,
never again.
Never. I haven't touched her face since 10th grade homecoming. Haven't touched it since.
Right. Nah, I got 2 more shots at this. This is not. No, I'm getting ready for junior homecoming. The Saturday after, the Sunday after sophomore homecoming. I'm getting ready. Right.
She did that. She did so much so that my baby girl was like, can she just do my makeup? Can Courtney do my makeup? What are y'all? Fine. But yes, that is.
Oh man. From Bozo to Soul Glow. My man James Jelson popped in with us today. So often man. And I think the difference, guys, between world travelers and kids who never leave their community is the options that you give them when they're young. Like sacrifice to get them in front of some different stuff, all kinds of stuff, robotics, different languages, different cultures and communities. Just the more exposing you can do when that mind is young and impressionable. You never know where that can take your children.
Absolutely.
And don't, for the life of me, superimpose your limitations on them or live vicariously through them and force them down a way that the Bible says you raise a child up in a way that they should go, right? And that should go is according to how they are bent, not that a lot of people say that is about raise them up with the scripture, raise them up to be kind and loving and all of that. That's not what it's talking about. It's talking about according to the gift that God gave them, you have to figure that out as their parent as early as possible and raise them according to that.
Yeah.
And that's how you set your children up for success. Number
Absolutely.
7, take risks.
Mm.
Kids who feel secure are more likely to seize promising opportunities. Praise your kids for initiative and effort, regardless of the immediate outcomes. That way, they'll learn from setbacks instead of holding themselves back. This also is speaking to you, parents. Help them
Uh-huh.
become risk takers by allowing them to see you take a few risks. See,
Absolutely.
when you fall on your face and they see you pick yourself up and go on and move forward, your words carry a little bit more weight when they fall on their face and they say, and you say, pick yourself up. No, you got this. No, you gonna bounce back.
That's
How,
it.
how do they know? Because they've seen you bounce back.
There it
Now
is.
it makes sense. Like, okay, yeah, mom. And then you
Yeah.
have those stories. Yeah, dad, you have those. Hey, remember when I told y'all we was gonna do this, that, and the other, and I went out there and I tried my best and it didn't work out, right? We remember that. And then a year later, we tried it again and it did. So just like you just had this little stumble, that's all it is, a stumble. Let's extract the lessons from that and then let's pick ourselves up, try again, and move forward. Your words have a little bit more weight when they've
Yeah.
seen you take risks. They've seen
Mm-hmm.
you overcome. Now you can help impart that into them.
Man, that I could stay on that way too long. But I will definitely say that I've always been a risk taker. Healthy risks, but I've always been a risk taker. So my girls can, because there's always just been the 3 of us, they can definitely say that they've seen me roll the dice on some stuff. Unfortunately, they've seen me crap out. But I think that that's good because, again, even now as they are adults and I've always raised my children to be independent, but now as they are independently maneuvering life, as adults, they live in their own homes, et cetera, et cetera. When they run into some of those same pitfalls, I take them back to mine. Hey, remember when it took me a minute, but we came back. And it's a blessing and a curse that they lived through some of them hardships with me. You know, I wish I could say to my kids, oh, y'all was little, y'all don't remember. Unfortunately, my kids be like, Mama, remember when? Hey. Bring it to no, not out loud. But they can remember themselves and they see that when they were scared in the moment and they look now, okay, we was all right. Yeah. They can draw on that. So I'm really glad. I'm gonna just tell the truth. There was some times I was in the house with the gas off and we was cold. It was some times in there where the gas and the lights was off and it was a thing. But they pay their bills. They got for Jesus. They pay their bills. They don't do nothing else. They be like, we ain't gonna be doing that, But I think that they had the benefit. My mom and dad, I thank God that we didn't endure those kind of hardships. But there was a side to me that, as an adult, I think that a part of me, if I had I would have been like, oh no, I can't let myself get into that. But I had a lot of naiveness about being an adult because my mom kept all that, stay out of grown folks' business. So I had to figure out how to be grown on my own. So.
Yeah,
to my kids,
I don't know if you guys have gotten the notice from Spire and what's going on with the government and natural gas and all of this stuff.
I saw something about that.
So my wife was like, what we gonna do? I was like, you acting brand new? If we gotta get the hot plates out in Boston.
You heard me?
Listen,
I'ma move.
Listen, I know how to take that 50-foot water hose that I have, put it on top of the house, let the sun beat down on it, and it will actually heat the water up, and I'll run that into you. You have your nice shower. No, what we gonna do is not worry about what they gonna do and what could possibly happen and let that ruin my right now, because that's one thing that I do not do, Michelle. I do not waste any time worrying about what might happen.
Yeah,
that's like paying interest on a loan that you never received.
Right. Oh my God. Yeah, I totally
can't go there. So I'm like, what we gonna do? I was like, lady, I done been without hot water before. So if we have to figure out how to get you some hot water, that's what you worried about? Hell, they didn't say that they was gonna mess with Ameren, then I'll just go switch the whole hot water heater out and make it an electric hot water heater. Look, we ain't giving no time to what could happen.
Right.
That's what we
There
not
it
gonna
is.
do is worry. Because today got enough of its own issues.
Come on. We ain't going over to
To be
tomorrow.
worried about then bringing tomorrow's issues into
We ain't doing
it.
it.
Number 8, stimulate
Number 8.
curiosity. Granted, teaching self-motivation is a big job, but kids make a great audience. They're already inquisitive and adventurous. Guide their energy in a positive direction.
Say that again.
When you talked about your mom kind of stamping some of the fires out of you and the aspirations, we hear teachers tell kids to get their heads out of the clouds. No,
absolutely not.
That's exactly where they should be living.
Seriously,
in the clouds. They should be imagining what's possible so that they can bring it to life, right? But
absolutely,
the whole school system and the way that it's built and designed, it is designed to stamp out that genius.
They don't teach kids to dream.
Yeah, not at all. And not only do they not teach them to dream, they punish them for dreaming. Right? Yep. It's the most banana and bizarre thing. But when you understand how this machine of our capitalistic economy works, then it all makes sense. We have to train you for the 9 to 5. And on the 9 to 5, there is no time for dreaming. So if we get that out of your head now, that you can never run the place, you can only work at the place, you make for a better employee. And that's what the whole school system is all about. And we as parents have to understand, okay, I'm sending you to school so you can make some friends, make some connections, get your basic arithmetic down, your reading, writing, arithmetic down. But beyond that, it's my responsibility to make sure you know how to dream. It's my responsibility to make sure you know how to handle money. It's my responsibility to make sure that you go after your dreams, that you are courageous, that you are bold, that you are believing and confident in yourself. And we put, most of us as parents, put all of that on our school system. And I think that's where we're making a grave mistake. So see what
absolutely.
James had to say. He said, I'm not a parent, but one of the big things I've been trying to understand is more empathy for what my mom goes through trying to guide an adult versus a child, as responsibility never goes away, especially hearing a lot of parents saying they worry more now than before. Do you find it trickier to provide guidance and motivating parenting your adult kids? My mom and I are trying to work on what looks like as I still need her. However, she feels she doesn't want to intrude. And that is the most difficult thing for a parent, James, is where's that line, right? Where's that line? I have all sons. So where is that line between me being their parent? And my mentor said it this way one time, and it made perfect sense. He said, we go from a controlling interest in their lives to more, we go from manager to counselor, right? So when they're children, we have to try to manage their lives. But when they get grown, all we can do is consult. And we have to, because we're their parent, we want to step back into those parent roles and make them do certain things. And that's not our place anymore. So we can only make suggestions. We can only pry. We can only do so much. But they ain't never lied when they said experience is the best teacher. So I can tell you how to avoid this experience. And that shows wisdom when you take that advice. But if you go through it in spite of the wise counsel, then you're going to get the wisest counsel of all. You get that experience. So but that is very difficult for me as a father, especially raising men Yes, I do worry about my sons. Yes, you know, a black man in this country
Yeah,
is
man.
tough, right? My wife worries a lot more than I do. But yeah, we still are trying to guide them and still shape
You have
them.
to.
And I think the other thing that we have to understand is that at 47 years old, I ain't got it together. And
Yeah,
I
man.
expect them to have it together at 25, 22,
Mm-mm.
21, 28, 29. No, how can I expect them to have it together when I'm still trying to figure this thing out? And sometimes we push them out there and we just let them go. And you can't do that either. But there is a fine line between intrusion and being
Yeah.
invited in. And the last thing
Yeah.
I'll say, and I'll let you close this out, Michelle,
Okay.
is unsolicited advice is criticism. Never forget
Mm.
that. Unsolicited advice
Well, there it
is
is.
criticism. And you got to
Man.
understand that everybody don't do criticism well. So if they're not
Ooh,
asking for your advice, you criticizing and be careful with
man.
that.
That's so big. You said so much. Uh, Shout out to James Nelson. What's going on? Hey, I got a couple of adults. If you just want to borrow them, you know what I'm saying? It could be like a lease to own thing or just a rental situation. I can loan them to you. If you just want to kind of get the authenticity of what, you know, your moms could be going through, I can run you over some kids, some adult kids. I'm here to help.
Right.
I'm here to help.
This is firsthand experience.
Y'all heard me. And absolutely, I love what you just said. That was an awesome statement. That unsolicited advice is criticism. That is so big, and kids can't. Not everyone can take it. It's funny what you were describing about. Your kids. You're like, hey, I'm almost. You said you're 40 something, and your kids. You can't expect them to be where you are because you're still working it out. My situation with my girls is actually the reverse because they think they where I'm at. I'm like, I'm 50, dog. It took me 50 years to get here. And I'm still climbing. Like I ain't arrived. I ain't gonna arrive till Jesus get back. But in some situations, I guess because they've seen and traveled the road with me, they feel like they're there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Keep on living, as my daddy would say. Keep on living, But it's all good. So, man, if I was gonna make my final statement, my closing statement, I'm used to you asking me, Shalay, what you got to close this out? Well, which is, I would just say, you know what, motivate your kids, stimulate their senses, push them to be all that they can be. But let's wrap in that whole peace thing. If you teach kids about peace at an early age, they don't get up and grow up and be wackadoodles when it comes to peace. They have a grasp on how to maintain it. So, yeah, pour into your kids so that they can be effective in their community. So, boom.
Love it, love it, love it. Until we talk to y'all next time, get your money up because you absolutely can do it. More importantly, you deserve to do it. Each and every single one of you. Now hustle up.